very honored to be in the presence of Gretchen Huntley, a local author and poet, and this is your third book, The Magic Mirror. Welcome, Gretchen. You made me cry earlier.
Sorry about that, but thank you so much for having me.
I think that's a compliment when I say that I cried earlier
Well,
after reading this.
Okay, I'll take it that way.
The Magic Mirror. How do you explain this? For young kids, or even adults, it affected me, explaining to them what happens when someone dies and how it affects them and how it could make them feel better, this book. Explain it to us. You can do a better job explaining it than I can.
Well, actually, what I decided to do was I had a father who was in the hospital and he was going to die.
And you were just young.
Well, my own dad, that's what happened to my dad,
Yeah.
and he just went away, and that was the end of my father. When I heard the next thing, he was gone, and there was nothing tangible. There was nothing to touch. My dad was gone. So when I decided to write The Magic Mirror, and it was suggested to me 3 years ago to try to do a story on death, I realized a tangible for me would have made a difference. And that's what I wanted to give to a child, was a tangible, a gift that they could carry in their heart and in their hands, and a memory that would last a lifetime. And I tried doing that through a mirror, because a child is not foolish. If you can actually give them something they can understand, like stepping behind the glass, but you're still there if you stand behind a mirror. So that was how I started with the concept, and because I write with rhyme, once I knew what I wanted to do, it just fell into place.
The idea of a parent, when they're alive, speaking to their 4-, 5-, 6-year-old, they're both looking at the mirror, and the idea is that the parent can go behind the mirror, and do you see me? No, I'm seeing myself, but I'm still here, I'm behind the mirror.
That's right.
When that parent is gone, that mirror will always be there, and
That's
it'll
right.
be cherished, and pass that down through their children at some point.
That's what I'm hoping, is that the concept of it will help children and adults, because even adults need something tangible or something to keep the memory alive.
Such a beautiful soul. This is dedicated to your son that you lost almost a year ago.
My son died in May of this year, 3 weeks before we went to press. My book was dedicated to Dr. Lynn, who was the one who really pushed me to do this. And I lost my son 3 weeks before we went to press, so it just seemed fitting that the book be dedicated to him.
He was the illustrator, or partially did the illustration for your second book, all about the Grog family?
He did all of the illustrations on the second one, the Grog family, the big-footed Grog from Grumple. And he had a field day with it. He just had the best time ever. And he had started the next one. There's actually 6 in the series that I did for my granddaughter when she was little. And he got the illustrations all done and part of it colored. And he said to me, "You know, Mom, if I don't get it finished, somebody can finish the coloring, but it'll be all my illustrations."
Right.
So someday that will be my project, is to get the Grog from Grumple, the first one, done with all of John's illustrations.
Is there talk of getting these books into school boards or perhaps palliative care units?
I am hoping very much so. I already have had Brockville, St. Vincent de Paul, their palliative care team has asked for 10 books. So I'm doing that tomorrow, taking them down. That's the first, and my goal is to get them into palliative care locations, into hospice, any place where I can make a difference and make it easier for a child or an adult.
Was it your granddaughter that you let her proofread the first one, the first draft?
No, that was my grandson,
Your
and it was
grandson.
quite by accident that that happened, because he had just lost his daddy.
And what
when
happened?
he finished reading it, he said to me, "Grandma, that was amazing." And that, for me, made it all worthwhile.
Did he understand what was happening, what the message was, the intent?
I think so. I didn't question him, but he's a pretty smart kid, and I think he understood the concept, because he was pretty proud.
Okay.
And he actually came to the book launch the other day that we had, and my granddaughter had to work, or she said, "I would have been there too, Grandma." So I'm very proud of them and the way they've moved forward, and they're doing their level best. And I'm hoping that I can help other children and adults.
Yes, that too. Well, we're proud of you for having you in our area and in our lives. If you missed that one book signing, there's going to be a couple of others this Saturday, October 3rd, in Gan on King Street at the Pharmasave.
That's correct.
You must meet Gretchen. And also Sunday, October 18th, here in Kingston at the Chapters on Princess Street. For more information, there's a website on the screen, gretchenhuntley.ca. May I give you a hug?
You certainly may.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure meeting you.
It was a pleasure meeting you too, Bill.